and welcome. Don't worry, this is kind of a pre-start. We're not starting officially until The Chosen is completely done, but I wanted to jump on and say hi, welcome, thank you for being here. It's a big night for us, a big night for you, supporters, fans, lovers of The Shift. But until The Chosen is done, I'm actually watching the Q&A with Dallas and Jonathan right now. It's been a really interesting live stream over there. So out of respect for them and out of respect for those that want to partake in The Chosen's live stream and The Shift's live stream tonight, we're going to play a few more videos. Well, a couple more. It depends on how long they go. Hang tight. Stay tuned. We will come back. Brock and I will be back live. We will introduce you to some new actors and make our big special announcement shortly. So until then, we'll see you soon.
There's times in stories that you'll read something or you'll watch something, you'll be engaged with something and you'll be like, okay, this is good. This is entertaining, or this is a sufficient way to spend 2 hours of your life type thing. The Shift, it's made out of magic.
Hi, so I just finished reading the script for The Shift.
I don't think I've ever read 127 pages that quickly.
And I love it. I got angry when someone interrupted me.
I even skipped some of my work.
Brock did this crazy thing. He did this crazy thing to where he put his script out online, which is crazy. Who does that? That is, I've never heard of that, and I can't really understand it. Anyways, I hope that's a great idea. I think it will be.
Hey, Matthew S. Nelson here. I want to talk to you about Brock Heasley's script for his feature film, The Shift.
Awesome. The Shift is not just science fiction. It is excellent, profoundly rich and stirring science fiction.
The Shift is basically a love story.
Whether you're a drama, action, sci-fi, no matter what kind of film you enjoy, this film is for you.
The short version, that short movie that we got, you have seen nothing yet.
It goes from there and takes you off a cliff into this crazy adventure that's filled with action and twists and turns and reveals all the way until the very end of the story.
Our lives and our reality are based on all of our choices and how we handle temptation. The Shift makes that quite obvious.
Truth just buried in it like treasures for us to find.
What keeps us looking for ways to help others when we ourselves feel helpless? How can we find the strength and motivation to keep taking up that cross, knowing each step may bring us closer to the place where we will hang from it?
So this will shift perspectives, shift attitudes, and shift a lot of things.
And it is so amazing. Part where he says, deny him one more time. I was like, oh!
Don't judge me, Satan.
The fact that the worldview of the film is robustly Christian makes it even better, because that is not a viewpoint often represented in the genre.
When I heard this was a Christian film, I was very, very skeptical.
The godly message amplified by The Shift is not sugar-coated and not predictable like the typical film of faith.
Everything that could have been cheesy wasn't. It wasn't. Seriously. And that's very good work.
I'm not even a sci-fi fan, but the writing is exceptional, and it hooked me from the very beginning and kept me captivated to the very last word.
It had me on the edge of my seat. It gave me chills.
This script is fantastic.
Brock, you're brilliant.
Brock Heasley, this guy, he has, he's done something magical. The dude's made out of magic.
The pace is almost frantic. The dialogue is smart.
I've never hurt anybody my whole life.
No, but you have such potential. You're a halfway decent guy. It's the other half I'm particularly fond of.
The characters are real humans with real-world imperfections.
And the ending was just superb. I love it.
I walked into my house, and my dad was sitting in his chair, and I told him, I'm like, I think this is the most impressive thing I've ever read.
but I want to see it on the big screen in the theater.
Can't wait to see this made into a feature film.
I want to see this as a film today, tomorrow. I mean, right now. I want to watch it right now.
This does well for the religion. This is good PR for Christians, for us.
So thrilled that I'm already invested in it.
I strongly urge you to be a part of getting this film made.
Make it now.
Invest, support, pray, help with this mission.
And I hope that you'll join us.
The dude's made out of magic. That's what I'm telling you.
Are you praying?
My Lord, you save me that I may be worthy tomorrow.
I am greater than God.
Jesus
Christ.
Think of a science fiction film that acknowledges the existence of God. It's not easy. What you've just seen is part of The Shift, a sci-fi short film about a man of faith who encounters a mysterious stranger with otherworldly powers.
We're turning The Shift into a full-length feature film, which excites me for a number of reasons. And the biggest reason is the opportunity to show the love of God in the kind of story where we don't usually find him.
A story of faith this big belongs on a big screen to reach the broadest possible audience. You can be a part of making this film a reality by investing now at angel.com/theshift. The Shift is about Kevin, a man who's like me, and I think like a lot of us, he has faith, but he's hardly perfect. His marriage is on the rocks, he's about to lose his job, and he's not completely sure he's even a very good person. And then he meets the devil himself, pushes him back through prayer, and gets banished to a tyrannical parallel Earth where he fights to get back to the woman he loves.
Brock has crafted a truly unique sci-fi world, and within it we're asking questions, big questions, tough questions, like how can a loving God allow suffering? And where is he when we're in our darkest moments?
The Shift is very much inspired by the story of Job, a person who was seemingly abandoned by God and then severely tested.
Just like Job, and all of us really, Kevin has the decision to make every day. Trust in the goodness of God, or cave to the hardships of the world around him. Can you relate? I know I can.
Science fiction is the most popular genre of film at the box office, and my personal favorite. But most sci-fi films take place in a world where God does not exist. If you were Matthew McConaughey about to head into a black hole, wouldn't you pray? I would, but in Interstellar he doesn't do that. I believe representation is important. We should see ourselves in our stories and in our heroes, but as a believer, I don't see myself in my favorite films.
I've actually never really been a huge sci-fi fan, but reading the feature script for The Shift started to change that in me. It's grounded in such humanity and raw human emotion. And combining those elements in a sci-fi world, to me, is a brilliant way of reaching a whole new audience that wouldn't otherwise be interested in watching a story with such strong faith elements. If you're like me and you want to see a wider variety of faith films, you can help make it happen by investing now at angel.com/theshift. The Shift will be distributed by Angel Studios, the same studio that brought you The Chosen, which I happened to work on as a producer. It's a show about Jesus and his disciples, and it's generated about 500 million views and over $100 million in revenue.
To tell a story as important and ambitious as The Shift requires a talented team, and we've got some real all-stars, including Dallas Jenkins, the creator of The Chosen.
I have actually signed on to be one of the executive producers of The Shift, and I want to see more, and I want to be part of it, and it reaches me on both an intellectual level and an emotional level.
It was an honor to be an early part of The Chosen team and help build it into what it is today, and I look forward to working closely with Brock to ensure that The Shift reaches that same level of excellence. And the only way to do that is to build the correct team.
We've already brought on veteran producer Ken Carpenter with his more than 3 decades of experience, and of course our composers, multiple Grammy winner Dan Hasseltine and Matthew S. Nelson.
The wonderfully talented composers of The Chosen.
Ooh. Probably open, do you think?
Ooh, yeah.
Let's do it. Ooh.
The Shift short film was made for very little money at a time when I was out of work and confused and struggling to find God's path for me. But I also knew he will often use the dark times to show us the light. That's Kevin's story, and that's my story with The Shift as well. I made the film in faith, not knowing why, and then he showed me the way.
I'm blown away
by what Brock was able to do with a tiny crew and a tiny budget. And I'm actually a little giddy about turning that short into a feature with an actual budget. But really what I'm most excited about is reaching a whole new audience with a story that brings light into the world in a smart and unique way. And that's what we need more of.
Join us in telling this exciting sci-fi story of hope and faith and love by investing now at angel.com/theshift. Look, we get it. You're sick of hearing about The Shift and what a great film it is and why you should support it. So you know what? Let's look at the other side. There are plenty of reasons to not invest in The Shift. So here we go. Top 10 reasons to not invest in The Shift. Number 10. Being involved in the making of a feature film is exciting and fun and deeply rewarding. And the last time you did something exciting and fun, you were rewarded with a broken hip. There. Number 9. Weirdly, you have an aversion to bricks. So many bricks. Number 8. Jesus' name is spoken clearly, and you prefer his name muttered or sung in a limerick.
There once was a man named Jesus, and he went looking for some cheeses, but he thought...
That's enough. Number 7. You're a vegetarian, and all that meat eating grosses you out. Okay, we can see that, but to be fair, so was she. She was pretty grossed out. She was a vegetarian actress. Number 6, there's a prayer in it, and you hate prayer. It is your least favorite part of worship, right after reading the Bible. Number 5, there are relatable characters in the film with flaws and problems you can identify with. And only perfect people without struggle are interesting to you. Remind me never to let you pick the movie on movie night. Number 4, you hate being a part of putting something good out into the world. People have already been comforted in their trials and sorrows and have had their hearts changed and their lives touched by the shift, but sure, okay, maybe that's not your thing. Number 3, faith-based films are just fine the way they are, thank you very much, and they should never be different or appeal to anyone new. Number 2, you hate money. There's a potential return on your investment here, and, you know, money is coarse and rough and irritating, and it gets everywhere. No, wait, that's sand. And finally, number 1, the shift portrays Satan as bad, and you don't like that message. What, did he buy you lunch or something once?
Just have a coffee, please.
Are you sure it's my treat?
So there you are. Those are your top 10 reasons to not invest in the shift. Now, if you would disagree with those reasons and you'd like to join us, you can do that right now. And if you don't, I don't know, was it the meeting? Was that the one? I don't know.
Hey there, I'm Dallas Jenkins.
It's a test.
For every choice you make, there are countless other realities where you make different choices. Imagine the power to move one person from one reality to the next.
You can do that?
Just say the word.
You tell me! Where did everybody go?
When are you finally going to wake up and realize he doesn't take care of his own? What do you know about me?
You're a fiend, a crook, a liar. Your goal? Misery.
Welcome. We hijacked the timer. We didn't know how long Dallas was going to go on, but for those of you joining us from the Chosen live stream, thank you so much. I was watching. I was loving it. That scene. Oh my goodness. For those of you that don't know, I was involved in seasons 1 and seasons 2 of The Chosen, and now I'm kind of detached, but still a huge fan, and still great friends with Dallas and Jonathan and everybody over there. And of course, great friends with our first actor that we've brought on to this project, which is The Shift. Our first actor that we revealed a couple weeks ago is none other than Liz Tabish, who plays Mary Magdalene on The Chosen. So if you are brand new, I want to just tell you what The Shift is. The Shift is a sci-fi faith-based project. My name is Justin Overlander. I'm a co-producer on this project, came over from The Chosen. Dallas is one of our executive producers, Dallas Jenkins, creator of The Chosen, of course. We've got a handful of Chosen people involved in The Shift. Angel Studios is our distributor. We expect big things from this. I mean, look, we want it to be successful and reach a lot of eyes. We want it to be impactful. We want it to, make a difference in people's lives. And so that's what we're hoping to do with The Shift. It's what The Chosen has been doing and continues to do. So if you're here, you're in safe hands. You're in good company. We love you. We love The Chosen. We love The Chosen fans. And we're so happy that you're here. And you'll learn more and more about The Shift as we go on tonight. But I want to bring in my dear friend, the writer and creator, the director. I mean, he wears so many hats on The Shift that I don't even know what to call him anymore other than Brock Heasley, the man, the myth, the legend. So Brian, let's go ahead and bring Brock in and he can introduce himself. Brock, are you excited about tonight?
I'm so excited about tonight. I can't even tell you. We've been building up to this for months and months, and we have so many announcements, so many new cast members to announce. We're going to kick it off with a huge announcement already, and then some other announcements, and then anyways, there's really exciting stuff happening tonight. So I'm very glad that you're here with me and that so many people are watching tonight. Dallas did a great favor and kind of sent a lot of people over, which is fantastic. So welcome. Those of you that are learning about The Shift for the first time tonight, welcome. Very, very glad to have you here.
Yeah, and look, if this isn't your thing, we take no offense whatsoever. Not everything can be for everybody. There are people that don't like The Chosen, believe it or not. This is a different type of project that we're hoping that you can get behind, that we're hoping that you will pray for, that we're hoping that you will share our social media posts, our live streams. If you're watching live right now on Facebook, go ahead and hit that little share button, share it to your feed, and you can even say, hey, here's a new project from the studio that brought you The Chosen. And maybe they'll tune in. It's all that word of mouth thing. That's how The Chosen started. I mean, The Chosen spread like wildfire once it found that core audience that was passionate about it. And so we're trying to build that core audience that can become passionate about The Shift in a similar way that they were passionate about The Chosen. So share. If you're on YouTube, leave us comments, questions. We're going to introduce you to some cast people tonight. Most of you met, well, I shouldn't say most of you, some of you met our first announced cast member, Liz Tabish, Mary Magdalene, of course, from The Chosen. And Brock, let's jump into that big announcement right now. I want you to just let everybody know. Let's not delay any longer.
So our big announcement for tonight, before we get to all of our cast announcements, is that as of today, we are officially open for investment. We've done this before. We've raised some money before. We've raised about $1.7 million before. But we've had a lot of interest come in over the last several months of people who want to invest again. And so we've officially reopened. In less than 24 hours already, we've seen over $100,000 in investment. And that number just keeps going up. And that's before we've even announced it. This is the first time we've announced it publicly. We sent some emails out today, but this is the first public announcement. And it's an exciting thing. This is the same way The Chosen was put together. It's been so helpful having Dallas as an executive producer on The Shift, because he's been able to really give me a lot of insight into how he built The Chosen from nothing into what it is today. And The Shift is a feature film. It's not a TV series, so it's a different thing. But it's going to be a theatrical release. It's got a lot of interest behind it. It's got a lot of people who have already invested, and now we're inviting even more to come on board right now. So if you go to angel.com/The Shift, you can invest right now in The Shift. There is a $102 minimum investment, and that's not because we don't want people to, we don't want to take people who can only afford a lesser amount. The reason we've set that amount is because there are some processes that generate some fees with this kind of investment, because it's not a donation. It really is, you're buying shares in the movie. And those fees and things just make it so that it's very difficult for us to justify the expense if we don't have at least $100 or $102 minimum. The other thing also that you should be aware of if you do go and invest tonight is that you're going to be asked for your Social Security number. I don't care about your Social Security number. It's not important to me. I'm not even going to look at it. However, the SEC requires us to get it because shares in a company are tracked to Social Security numbers. So that's the only reason for that. Again, nobody cares about your Social Security number. But those are just a couple of things that people usually have questions about. And so I wanted to make sure that we announce that. But if you go to angel.com/The Shift right now, you can invest in this film. The investment is happening for only a limited time. October 19th will be the last day, unless we close earlier than that by hitting our maximum, which is just shy of $4 million is how much investment we can take in right now. Now, interestingly enough, we just recently asked people to tell us if they were interested in investing and how much they would like to invest. And we had over, I think it was like 7,000 people come in and say they wanted to invest. And they pledged essentially or expressed interest in the amount totaling all about $7.5 million, which is, of course, way more than we can actually accept. So if this is something that you think you want to do, I would highly recommend doing it sooner rather than later. And go check it out at angel.com/The Shift. You can see who we've already cast. You can see that Liz has been cast. We'll be announcing more and updating the site soon because of that. You can see some our short film. That kind of gives you a flavor of the film. You can see our test footage, which gives you a kind of a flavor of the feature film and kind of what we're doing with that. There's a lot of stuff there, and we'll be showing a little bit of that tonight. We already have, but tonight is really about the cast. We're going to get to that in just a minute, but I want to tell you something else that's really exciting. This is something that we haven't talked about at all publicly. This is brand new information. This is really, really exciting stuff. There is a lot going on behind the scenes, a lot of talks that we're having as we're bringing on cast members, we're bringing on crew, but we're also getting interest from outside parties who want to help us bring The Shift into the world. This is the big announcement. This is the big thing that's happening besides the investment that you can participate in right now. We are very far down the road right now in talks with two different groups. One of these groups is they want to do a private investment into The Shift. It's a film fund, and they want to do a private equity investment that would be activated once we reach a certain level of our budget. In other words, once a certain amount of other investment comes in. That deal is for 7 figures. It's a significant deal, and it will be activated if the deal is made. Like I said, we're in talks. But we're very far down the road in those talks. It's going very well, and if that happens, then that would be activated at that. The other thing that's happening, that's a pretty big deal. That gets us a lot closer to our finish line. The other thing that's happening is that we've also got a very strong interest from a streaming platform that probably you're familiar with, who wants to do a licensing deal already with The Shift before we even shot a frame. This is also a 7-figure deal. Again, the agreement has not been signed, but we're very far down the road in talks. And so I just want you to be aware of that. You take those, you combine that with the Georgia tax incentive that we're planning on taking advantage of because we are shooting in Georgia. You're talking about a film that is going to be rolling camera in January of next year. You're talking about a film that is happening, that is on the tracks, that is heading towards the finish line. this is the perfect time to jump into the shift and be a part of things, because this film is weird moment to get emotional, but I've been working on this for a very long time, and it's a beautiful story that I just can't wait to bring into the world, and to see the interest and to see everybody just rallying around this way, not just, like, hey, great, hope it goes well, but like really sacrificing their hard-earned dollars. It means a lot, and it's happening right now. And so yeah, I look at this film, I see something that's happening, and I'm so glad that you're able to join us tonight and to find out about all of this and what we're about to announce. Because one of the biggest signs of a film that is really happening is actors coming on board. You don't approach actors until you know, okay, we're making this thing. We've already got Liz, incredible actress, so talented. And the challenge we have now is to bring actors on board who can rise to her level. And I think we've done that. And I think it's time to bring the first one in. What do you think, Justin?
Well, yeah, and let's, Liz is such a sweetheart in real life, and her character, Mary Magdalene in The Chosen, is so beloved. We had to counteract that a little bit by bringing kind of a jerk on. I mean, I'm not going to mince words here. This character that this actor is portraying is kind of a jerky character. And so we felt like it was important to have somebody who in real life kind of is a jerk. So
a good ensemble has a variety of characters and people, Yeah. And I think it's safe to say we got the biggest jerk of them all.
I think so too. Yeah. So folks watching, please don't overreact to this. Just welcome this actor cordially with open arms, even though this actor tends to be a jerk. And Ryan, let's go ahead and bring on this jerk.
This jerk who is playing Brendan for us.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah. So
thank you for such a lovely introduction.
Well, you're welcome. For anybody watching that doesn't know who this jerk is, this is Jordan Walker Ross, who plays Little James on The Chosen. He also happens to have a jerky podcast called, like, I'm Gonna Give You a Limp or something like that. Like, it's just this
close
mean. Yeah. Was that right or no?
Basically, yeah. What's your limp? But close enough. Yeah.
Well, let's give Jordan the table now, and the floor. Anybody, if you have questions for Jordan, please ask them. We'll put them up on the screen. But Jordan, give us kind of the background of how you got introduced to the project, what your first reactions were when you read the script, and tell us about this character a little bit.
Yeah. So I originally got the call from you, Justin, and first off, it was great talking to you and catching up because it had been a while. But you had told me a little bit about it. I was already Facebook friends with Brock, so I was kind of familiar with the short film. Then you told me that Liz was involved, so that was really exciting for me. And telling me about the character, the opportunity to play, as you said, a jerky character, is exciting because being kind of a smaller guy, I'm usually a more vulnerable character, like Little James on The Chosen. So anytime I get a chance to play a jerk, it's really fun as an actor because it's not something I get to do often. And I've done it a couple of times recently, but this is a different type of jerk from the other jerks I've played. So I'm really excited to sink my teeth into Brendan.
Yeah, and those of you that aren't familiar with Jordan, let's not take it for granted everybody's seen The Chosen. Shame on them if they haven't, but let's not take that for granted. We got a little clip here of Jordan doing his thing as Little James in The Chosen.
So, let's see, how are we doing?
Well, how do I put this?
Well, are you serious? I'm worse off than I was.
Yes, you are.
I thought you said you were good at this.
I thought I was.
I can't get out of this now.
Sorry, James.
Yeah. So what was everyone talking about?
Not much. Just prophecy, outgrowing fame, the Messiah healing disease instead of overthrowing the Romans. Small topics like that.
Well, I'm not sorry I missed it. I'm ready for this day to be over.
What about out there? Anything happen in your short shift?
No, it's same as all day. One thing that is annoying me, though, is these people. They are believing in him and praising him, and don't get me wrong, that's great, but it's because he's healing them. The Samaritans.
Yeah, that's pretty much what he said. That's all they needed.
I know. I just don't know how many of them would believe in him if he wasn't healing them.
All right, you're so good, man. You're so good at what you do. Like that is such a great scene. And I love how many different shades you're playing there. I mean, can you talk about that just briefly? Like, what's little James going through right there, and what are you bringing to it there? Because it's so touching, and yet, and I'm sure like it's not what he's saying is probably not that unfamiliar to you.
Yeah, Dallas was bold enough to embrace my differences. I have cerebral palsy and scoliosis, so I have a slight limp, and it's something that had negatively impacted my career for a while, and I developed a bunch of insecurities. So getting to shine a light on that, on something as as something as big as The Chosen, and having millions of people zeroed in on the thing that I was most insecure about, was scary, but it ended up kind of being transformative for me. It helped me to feel less alone. It kind of removed all of that weight and took it addressed the elephant in the room, and it helped me to learn to love and accept myself a little bit more. And that's kind of what little James is going through as well. He's just a few steps behind myself in that journey of self-acceptance, and we definitely explore it a lot more in season 3. So yeah.
Well done, man. I love it. And it's probably a weird leap to take you who are doing so well with that and then make you into a jerk. But I just think you have so much to share as an actor. I know you know that about yourself, and I just can't wait for you to do that. You haven't. It was interesting to me. You when you received the script for The Shift, can you talk a little bit about that? Like, where were you when you received it? And what was the experience like of reading that for the first time?
So Justin, when he called me, I was actually on my way to set for The Chosen. We've been shooting for 5.5 months or something like that. And it was a day where there was a lot of us shooting. I think there was like all 12 of the apostles were shooting that day or something like that. And on those days, if you have an early call time, you get your hair and makeup done, but then you have to wait hours for everyone else to get through their hair and makeup before you even get to start shooting. So I had a lot of time to kill. So I just sat in my dressing room and read the whole script. And I really, it was so exciting. And like you, Brock, one of my favorite genres is science fiction. Anything from Star Wars to the Marvel movies, but specifically science fiction that is grounded in that feels a little more real. It's not as far out as some of the other ones, and the Shift definitely had that quality. And also the whole idea of alternate realities and dimensions and all that kind of stuff is really interesting to me as well. I loved like the new Doctor Strange and Everything Everywhere All at Once. It's kind of a popular thing right now, but it's something I've always been interested in. So when I saw that aspect, that really interested me as well. So I was just blown away, and I think it was just a couple of hours after I talked to Justin that I texted him back and was like, yeah, I'm in. And I had made my mind up. So I'm really grateful that you guys thought of me.
No, and we're so grateful to have you.
to be clear, that doesn't happen. That just doesn't happen. I mean, you don't send an actor a script and then 2 hours later they've read it. I mean, generally there's a lag, and you're following up, and it's like, hey, you had any time to? So my hat's off to you, Jordan, first of all, for just taking the initiative and being afforded the time to do it when you were able to do it. But just the promptness in getting back to us. I mean, look, when I introduced Jordan as a jerk, that's obviously satire. I actually did an interview with the Babylon Bee today, so I'm all fresh on the satire stuff. Jordan is about as sweet of a family guy as you can imagine. He's a wonderful husband, not to me, but a wonderful father as well. Again, not to me, but just, salt of the earth, good guy. And I was there with you, I mean, from the very beginning of The Chosen. I mean, I was in your callback audition room reading lines opposite you, and just, if it's not too cheesy or corny for me to say, just fell in love with you as a person immediately. And you just have that warmth about you. So I'm excited because as actors, we always want to play against character type. And so I'm really excited to see what you're going to bring to this Brendan character.
Me too. And I feel the same way about you, doing the callback for The Chosen. Callbacks are always, a little nerve wracking, and you are kind of in your own head. The two actors that went in before me, who actually play Eden's brothers on The Chosen, I had seen them around before in other auditions, and they always booked them. So I thought for sure that I wasn't going to book this part. But going in there and reading with you, you were such a great present reader. It made it so much easier and helped ease all of my nerves, and clearly it worked. So thank you for that.
Yeah, you're welcome. And being that we've got 3 more actors to introduce tonight, not every one of them is a chosen actor. This isn't going to become The Chosen /Shift. But if I could bring everybody from The Chosen, I would. It just doesn't make sense to do it that way because I love you all. But before we let you go, Jordan, can you tell us about your podcast? Because I love it, and I want more people to be listening to that because it's such a huge, impactful podcast. So tell us about that and where people can find it.
Yeah, so if, just to give you a taste of it, you can go to What's Your Limp on Instagram or Facebook or Twitter. I post little clips and stuff on there. But you can also find it on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, all of the main podcast platforms. But essentially, it's all about trying to help others feel a little more comfortable opening up about what they're insecure about or what they've struggled with, and helping people to learn to be a little kinder to themselves and to love the things that make them different. The thing that I've realized over the last couple of years is that just because I'm different doesn't mean that I'm broken. And I hope to help other people, realize the same thing, and just to kind of spread love and promote vulnerable, meaningful conversations. So, that's what it's all about.
And you've had some heavy hitter guests too. Let's not gloss over that really quickly. I mean, Tim McGraw, Will Wheaton, Jonathan Rumi. I mean, you've had some phenomenal guests on there, and you handled them all with such aplomb. It's fantastic to listen to it.
Thank you so much. That means a lot.
We are so lucky to have you, Jordan, and we're so glad that you're coming on board and joining Liz. You guys aren't going to have any scenes together, but it's going to be an exciting time. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. Maybe in the sequel.
Yeah.
If we're so lucky. Noah Bennett just asked, what role is Jordan again? Jordan is going to be playing Brendan. If you've watched the Shift short film, Brendan is the jerk boss that gives Kevin a hard time. So that's the role that Jordan's going to be taking on. And we're very, very excited to see him do it. Jordan, we're going to let you go. We've got more actors to introduce. Some of your castmates are coming up here. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you. I'll talk to y'all later. Love you too.
All right, and I think we've got a little quick video to show before we bring on our next cast member.
Hi, I'm Liz Tabish. I play Mary Magdalene on The Chosen, and I'm going to be playing Molly in this shift, and I'm really excited.
Yes, and I'm Jordan Ross. I play Little James on The Chosen, and I'm playing Brendan. Can't wait to have a Chosen reunion, and can't wait for y'all to see what we're working on.
Yeah, Stay tuned.
The Shift is the first feature film from Angel Studios, the same studio that brought you The Chosen, and it's heading into production soon. You can invest now in The Shift by hitting the link or going to angel.com/The Shift. And that's right. As of tonight, we are reopened for investment. Angel.com/The Shift. You can go do that right now. But our concern at the moment is our next actor. And I interrupted you, Justin. Go ahead.
No. Well, you know what? We talk about these beforehand, and we say, so we're back to Justin hosting, and I said, well, no, but we want Brock on screen too. So it's always this big to do. But yes, we have another actor, and guess what? Not a shift actor, or no, it is a shift actor, not a chosen actor. Okay,
I hope it's a shift actor.
Yeah, as of right now, this is a shift actor. And this actor is playing a look, this is a pivotal role in the short. This role gets even more expanded in the feature. And that role is Brock.
Tina. We're going to introduce you to the incredible actor who is going to be playing Tina. And Tina, if you've seen the short film, and if you haven't, please hit angel.com/The Shift and check it out. But Tina is the waitress who is there while Kevin is having his trial, and it's a heartbreaking character what she goes through, and the feature film is very concerned about her fate, and the actor that we bring in to play Tina has to be an actor who can really kill it, who is really talented, because there's a lot of different shades to play, and some really like tricky dialogue, and so anyways, without further ado, here is our actor who is playing Tina. Come on out, Rose.
Rose!
Rose, it's so good to see you.
I know, it's so good to see you too, Brock. Thank you so much. And Justin, nice to officially meet you.
Right, nice to meet you as well. And look, Rose Reed may not be a household name just yet, but just around the corner, my goodness.
Discerning household she already is, but yes.
Hey, trust
Thanks,
me,
Brock.
Rose Reed is going. No. I'm just saying, Rose is going to explode. Like literally explode, and because she's been the lead in a number of films. She's still very young, and I love what I've been told. And look, you go back with producer Ken Carpenter, and Ken speaks glowingly of you, not only of your talent on screen, but of your disposition off screen. And that is so important to me. So we are thrilled to have you as a wonderfully talented addition to the cast, but also just a wonderful person to be around, right? Am I accurate in all of that, Brock?
Totally accurate. Totally accurate. No,
oh my gosh, you guys are really setting me up here.
Well,
you're
tell us
only
about
with confidence. Only with confidence.
Yeah. So let's give you the floor, Rose, and tell the Shift fans. Some of them are carryover Chosen fans. Tell them about you and some of your background and what makes you super excited about the Shift and the Tina character in particular.
Yeah, so I am, first of all, just so excited to be a part of the project. You know, it's always been a dream of mine. Something that I've really been working towards is getting into science fiction. It's one of my favorite genres, and like you said, I do go back with Ken Carpenter, and he is a fabulous producer. You guys couldn't have attached anyone better. He's fabulous, and I've loved working with him, and it's the best compliment that I could ever receive, that I'm easy to work with on set. I love that. That's so much better. You can say that, you know, that was an okay scene, but man, is she easy to work with, and I'd be like, okay, I can work on that. I can live with that. But yeah, I got the Shift, the script, and was instantly very attracted to it because it was science fiction, and it was very intriguing, and it was something that you don't see very often, and that it was a very original concept. And so many times we're trying to reinvent the wheel, and you know, there's nothing ever really new under the sun. So we're seeing a lot of the same stuff, but with the shift, we were seeing something really unique, something interesting. It was this very complex, well thought out world. And of course, that's because this has been Brock's sort of brainchild for years. So I guess that makes sense to me now. But man, it was just so well thought out. I loved the story arc. I loved everything that happened, and all the twists, and just really, really latched onto that. And I was about like a quarter of the way through, and I texted my manager and I was like, I really like this. I don't know what you think about it, but you need to finish reading it. It's because we need to talk. So
that's amazing. I haven't even heard that part of the story. That's fantastic. Yeah. That's a quarter in. I don't even know if Tina shows up a quarter in, but that's great.
She's getting there. I think she had just hit the diner, and I'm going to be honest. I think I knew that the role I was supposed to be looking at was named Tina, but I was like, I don't care who I am in this. I need to take a look at this. This looks great. This looks like so much fun, and it's so original, such an interesting story. It's really going to captivate audiences, and to be a part of, the same production company that did The Chosen, what an honor. I'd be thrilled.
Yeah. That's and it's an honor to hear you say all that.
Yeah, I agree. And it's a significant departure from the project that you met, Ken. And well, your acquaintance with Ken Carpenter might go back before Surprised by Oxford, but let's talk briefly about Surprised by Oxford. And we've actually got the trailer to show tonight, which I don't know if this has been oh yeah, it was released this week or last week.
Like a couple of days ago.
But we've got it here. Yeah. So we've got it here to show. But Rose, why don't you lead us into the trailer for Surprised by Oxford?
Yeah, so Surprised by Oxford is the absolutely beautiful tale of Carolyn Drake, who is this celebrated author and brilliant woman who I am so honored to be able to portray on screen. It's a story of becoming her own person and discovering her faith and discovering her identity and who she is. She's very cynical and, kind of dark to begin with. And as she journeys to Oxford, where she gets a scholarship, she is opened up to this world of meaning and purpose and faith and life. And it really it brings her alive. And it's this beautiful story. It's a beautiful romance. And we did get to film in Oxford, England, so can't really go wrong there. But it's a very different role from Tina. And that was another reason why I was so attracted to The Shift.
Let's check it out. Let's check out that trailer.
The truth indeed is strong, Carol, and you will know when you are properly ravished by it.
This is a letter from the University of Oxford. It says I want a scholarship.
It's a full ride to Oxford.
We are not all-knowing, autonomous, or self-sufficient. We all bend the knee to something greater than ourselves.
Maybe we desire something beyond us.
That's quite enough, Miss Drake. Sit down.
You act like you're different, but you're not. You'll trick me into trusting you, and what then? What was it all for?
You pore over the words of dead people, but you don't let yourself feel those same things. I'm sorry your dad abandoned you, but it doesn't mean that I would have.
Don't act like you know anything about my life.
So what happens now?
That's the question, isn't it?
The strength you speak of? Perhaps you're looking for it in the wrong place.
How beautiful is that? I mean, that is just well done, Rose. Well done.
Thanks, guys.
And just one of the ways that the biggest way that Rose came into this film is that I actually got a chance to see an early screener of Surprised by Oxford a number of months ago. I happened to have an in with the producer. So he let me see it. And And it's funny because he wasn't really pushing you. It was for a totally different reason that he asked me to watch it. And we came out of that. I watched it and I was like, tell me about Rose, because it just, to me, like, you're just so magnetic on screen. You're one of those rare actors who can portray like 5 emotions at once. And it's just, I don't know. I saw Tina. I did, and you were so kind enough to read the script and to accept the offer. I just think you are going to be so incredible in this part, and that we are so fortunate to have you. So thank you for being you and coming on board.
Thank you so much, Brock. That means the world to me. Oxford was really a beautiful film, and I'm so honored to have been a part of it, but I can't wait to move on to The Shift as well. And like you said, I think Tina's character is so rich, and it's so she's such a complex character that has so much strength and so much sadness and heartbreak and eventually a little bit of madness. And I think that is that's so exciting to be able to portray, and I can't wait to kind of grab hold of that character and figure her out with you and see where we can take her.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to be a really fun journey for us to take. I do think in some ways, Tina is maybe the trickiest character in the film. I think because of some of the madness that you mentioned, she really does go through some things that kind of crack her in half a little bit. And I think it's going to be a great challenge for both of us to figure out, okay, how do we do this in a believable way on screen? And I've already got my ideas, and I'm sure you've got yours. And when we get to come together and finally do that, I can't wait for it. I can't wait for it. Well, Rose, thank you so much for joining us tonight. This is a big night. We've made so many announcements already, and you are certainly one of the biggest. And it's just, I'm so glad we got to connect with you live. So thank you so much.
Yes, thank you guys so much for having me on.
Thank you, Rose. Thank you. We'll see you soon.
See you very soon.
See you soon. All right.
All
bye.
Right. Well, boy, this is exciting. This is just, I mean, pieces are coming together. So we've got 3 casts announced. We've opened up our investment round.
2.
Angel.com/
counting Liz. Yes, we've got 3. Sorry.
Yep. And let's jump right into the next one. Without further ado, we're gonna game this one up. We're gonna play a little game here.
Yeah.
So Brock has actually, you know what, Brock, you introduce the game and tell people what they're doing, and we'll go from there.
All right. We're shaking it up a little bit. So rather than just tell you who we're about to, present to you and what they're going to play, we are going to play a game. So The Shift is a sci-fi film, and as a sci-fi film, I mean, look, I'm a sci-fi fan. And so if I'm going to make a sci-fi film, I'm going to try to bring in a sci-fi actor. I'm going to try to bring in somebody who's one of my favorites from the great sci-fi or TV or movies that I've seen. And I'm very happy to report that we have successfully achieved that goal. We have a very, very special actor who is from the sci-fi world who has signed on to The Shift and is confirmed. I'll just tell you ahead of time, they will not be joining us tonight. That was not possible, but they are confirmed and they are part of the cast. And so we're going to play a game. So here's the game. This image contains, I believe it's 9 actors who are from the sci-fi world. They have all starred in a sci-fi movie or a TV show. One of them is our actor. So the game is this. I want to see your guesses for who you think it is that we've brought on. And yes, I'm not even telling you what the part is yet. We'll tell you that after we tell you who it is. But who do you think has just joined the Shift cast? And this is how this is going to work. Put in the comments, let us know who you think it is. And we're going to keep track. And then whoever gets it right, we're going to put you into a drawing to win some merch at the end of this live stream. So we've got one guest from Dawn. She's guessed Eric Avari. Eric Avari, of course, was in Stargate and in The Chosen.
Everybody's guessing
saying,
Eric Avari. No, I was saying that's everybody's guess. Is it
really
it
everybody's Eric?
It's not Eric. I'm just going to say
It's
flat
not
out,
Eric.
it's not Eric. We put that kind of intentionally as a red herring. I love Eric. Would love to work with him again. For this particular role, it's not. So I see a guess for Sean Astin.
Oh my gosh,
guess.
everybody's guessing Eric. Wow.
We see one for Jorge Garcia, a guess for Jorge. Scott Grimes,
Weathers?
Sean.
Carl Weathers, how amazing would that be? That guy's done so many different things. Another big guess for Jorge.
Yeah,
let's get that graphic back
look,
up. I feel like that was gone too quickly.
Every one of these actors is phenomenal and is somebody that I would either want to work with for the first time or work with again.
Mm-hmm.
But
there can only be one. Any Wayne Knight fans out there? Seinfeld, Jurassic Park, Space Jam. Come on,
Newman.
And then we got some others. Carl Weathers I always loved because of Rocky, though. You gotta love him because of that. Jorge, of course, was in Lost, like one of my all-time favorite TV shows. Got one for Sean Astin here, Lord of the Rings for sure. Edward James Olmos, man. If you haven't watched Battlestar Galactica, you've got to. That's got to be the next thing you watch, because that show is another one of my all-time favorites. Got one for James Marsters, none for Danny Trejo. I think that's pretty much everybody. Everybody's been guessed at this point.
Everybody's
Scott
got
Grimes.
a guess.
Got one for Scott Grimes. There we go.
All right. Well, I think everybody has had an opportunity to guess now. So if you guessed correctly, we'll reveal the answer here real soon. If you've guessed correctly, you will be considered to win a prize.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I will say this too, Brock. This is one of my all-time favorite TV shows and one of my favorite characters from that TV show. So I am so honored and excited to reveal that our next actor is Brock.
Jorge Garcia has joined the cast of The Shift, and he will be playing the part of Ramirez. Now, for those of you who have seen the short film and the test footage and all of that, you haven't seen Ramirez. Ramirez is a brand new character that we've never really put out there in any way, but he's a very significant character. And he is, just tell you a little bit about him, he's kind of quirky. He talks a lot. He's kind of sometimes gets his words wrong. He's also missing a cat that he's looking for, and he's constantly leaving out trays of food and milk and things to try to get his cat to come back. He's a friend to Kevin, our main character, but he's also the owner of a movie theater where a lot of our action takes place in the film. Ramirez is maybe my favorite character in the film. He's so much fun to write. And in fact, it wasn't until we thought of Jorge for the part that I think I really fully understood the character of Ramirez. Once I heard Jorge's voice coming through that character, in my head, obviously, it became really obvious, like exactly who Ramirez is, and that Jorge could not be more perfect for the part. There is no one more perfect for the part. Jorge, of course, played Hurley on Lost, and Hurley was the heart of that show. I mean, he really was. Everybody loved Hurley. In fact, there's a whole episode of Lost called Everybody Loves Hugo. That's exactly about that. But Jorge is an extremely talented actor. He's done a lot of stuff since Lost, including Hawaii Five-0 and The Ridiculous Six and a show I loved called Alcatraz. But Jorge is an extremely talented actor, and a very specific kind of actor. Like he's got this persona that comes through in everything he does. That's just so endearing and so powerful. And Ms. Ramirez, I think, is such a match made in heaven, and I cannot wait for him to start doing his thing on The Shift. I don't know, what are your feelings about the casting of Jorge, Justin?
Well, when we were discussing that character and you mentioned Jorge's name, like I cut you off right then and there, and I said, "Oh, that's Ramirez. That absolutely is." And I didn't want to get my hopes up because I thought, okay, he's busy. He's super
like
busy.
perfect,
he's always
right?
working. Yeah. And so I legitimately just kind of said, no, we're not going to get Jorge. I don't want to get my hopes up, but man, it would be fun. He is like the perfect actor for that character. So yeah, we're certainly blessed to have Jorge a part of the shift, and can't wait to work with him on set and maybe introduce you to him at some point. But for now, it didn't work out schedule wise and everything. But he's also in a show that my family and I finally started to watch on Disney Plus called Once Upon a Time. He plays a giant in Once Upon a Time, and so he's just always, somehow he's just always funny and charming and just this sweetheart. And Ramirez has some of those qualities and the quirkiness, and you can't help but like Ramirez. And so he's going to be a favorite in the shift. Definitely going to be well liked by all of you watching the shift eventually. So yeah, I'm excited. And
no doubt.
Where are we at now? I got to look at the notes. I think
what's the
are
latest?
we ready?
Well, let's check in on the investment. Let's see how that's going tonight.
Yeah.
Where are we at? Oh my goodness, we're at $127,000. For those of you that are joining us late, we opened up investment again today. Like, it's just barely open. We're already at $127,000 in investment. If you want to invest in the shift, go to angel.com/the shift. It's really easy to do. There are so many people today who wish they had gotten in on The Chosen and missed that opportunity. If you went in on the shift, now is the time. We are heading towards a January 2023 shoot. I talked earlier today about how we have many outside parties that are looking to put money into this film. This film is happening. If you want to be a part of it, now is the time. If you missed out on The Chosen, Dallas is part of this. Liz Tabish is part of this film. Jordan Walker Ross is part of this film. Justin Overlander is part of this film. And there's even more than that. There's a lot of DNA that we share with The Chosen, and it's not a Chosen reunion, but there is a feeling around this film that I remember from when The Chosen was gearing up, and what that felt like, and seeing that come together. I've been a fan of The Chosen since before they even started crowdfunding, and it's such an honor and a blessing to be in that position with Angel Studios now. You too? Really? I didn't know that. That's cool, Justin. Good for you.
I've been a fan of The Chosen since way before that was cool. I'm just saying.
Yeah. Well, it feels like we've come to a natural endpoint, to be honest with you, with this live stream. It feels like we've announced 3 actors. We just announced Jorge Garcia from Lost joining the shift. It feels like we've got a pretty strong finish here. Am I right about that? What do you think? Should
3 actors is a lot for a live. Yeah, 3 actors is a lot for a live stream. So I don't know. If you're watching and you want to meet another one, go ahead and let us know. You can twist our arms, or
we can probably pull one more out of a
Or
we can probably reach into the bag and pull one more.
But I also give you complete permission to say, hey, no, I'm done. I got to tap out for the night. I've had enough of Justin and Brock. But I want to just say this too briefly before we introduce our 4th actor of the evening. This isn't like a telethon. This isn't a pitch fest. We're not soliciting funds. We're saying if you are in a position to invest in a project like this, now is the time to do it. I worked very closely with the investors of The Chosen, which was 19,000 people. 99.9%, I'm guessing, would tell me we did this because we believed in the project. We believe in the impact that it's having. And I think the shift can and will have similar impact. It's a story that's completely different from The Chosen. So it's going to reach an audience that would never watch a show about Jesus. But there is a light. There is redemptive qualities within the shift. So if you're moved by something like that, angel.com/the shift is where you can go and be a partial owner of this project. You would be an investor. If the shift is successful financially, the SEC, our legal, always prevents me from saying too much in that regard. But just know that's what this is. It's not a donation. You're not just putting money and not having any stake in the shift. You would be a partial owner of it. So this I want to make that clear. This is an investment. But if you're not in a position to do that, please don't. Prayer and sharing and just all of that stuff is very, very important. In fact, prayer, of course, is the utmost importance. So with that said, and out of the way,
with that, we got to bring on, we're doing one more. Let's meet the actor who is going to play Rajit. Now, Rajit is the best friend, not the best friend, one of the very best friends, maybe the best, I don't know, he's a friend, a very good friend to our main character, Kevin, in The Shift. So Rajit is a very important character. I refer to Hurley in Lost as the heart of Lost. Rajit is the heart of The Shift, I think. And anyways, without further ado, here is the actor who will be playing Rajit in The Shift.
Surprise! I know I came on earlier to announce that I'm playing Brendan in The Shift, but that's not all. I'm also playing Rajit. Brock had reached out the other day and asked if I would be interested in...
He also invited me to play Rajit, and as well as Molly, so I think he's like...
Weird.
Maybe not sure which one of us is going to be playing, but I guess we can trade lines?
Yeah. I mean,
back and forth?
We could try that, or like just alternate scenes, maybe.
Yeah, so it might be an awkward...
Either way, yeah. That'll be
envisioning of a character, but
yeah,
surely there must be a better way.
I mean, it is alternate realities and stuff, so I guess it can work. I wonder if maybe
it might be a better option.
Yeah. You know what? I think let's leave it to me to play Rajit. How do you all feel?
I think that's
the best, best choice. Yeah.
Great. I agree and I accept, and I am Paras Patel, and I'm so happy to be playing Rajit Nadir on The Shift with these guys. Yay! It's a reunion and it's great, and I can't wait to get started. It's going to be a blast. I love the story, the script, and it's going to be an amazing time. Too bad none of us have scenes together, but we'll be there. Yeah. We'll be there in spirit.
Yeah. See you in the multiverse.
See. Yeah, in the multiverse.
Yeah.
I gotta read more.
Hey, welcome to The Shift, Paras. We are so excited to have you, man.
Yeah, I know. I'm so excited. I'm interrupting you right now. Thanks for having me. I'm so excited to be a part of this.
No, it is, I mean, look, it's a giant thing. And anybody who is a fan of you and is familiar with you from The Chosen or from any of the other things you've done, they know what a big deal it is to have you in this part. And me personally, as the writer of the character, as the director of this film, like, I'm over the moon. Like, I cannot, honestly,
Brock, I'm
basically
gonna
first choice.
stop you
Go
right
ahead.
there.
Do it.
I'm not worthy of all that praise, but I'm so grateful to be working with you, though, genuinely. And all our supporters from The Chosen that recognize me and the rest of our special announcements that have come the last few weeks and tonight. I am just, it's like I'm doing this for them as well, just because it's like I can sense the excitement behind this project and this story, and I feel like I'm on cloud nine, man. And I'm so happy that you all thought of me and just wanted to work together, because I think I remember when we were talking earlier, I told you how I had heard about you before I met you. So, you know, it's kind of it's a compliment to be able to work with someone like you. And I'm really looking forward to it.
No, I really appreciate that, man. And you're right. There is a lot of excitement building around this project. And tonight is, you know, a massive, massive example of how that is really, really true. Tell us a little bit about yourself.
Originally from Florida, started school and all that. Had no idea I wanted to get into acting, but always knew I wanted to be an actor. If that makes sense, I don't know. But I ended up studying finance in school, which kind of helped me play Matthew. I couldn't get a job or anything, and then I just thought maybe I should try acting and see how I feel. And I had moved to Atlanta to try and find a job in the corporate world, and at the same time, the Atlanta film market started growing, and they had just passed the incentives, and a lot of projects were coming there. So I thought, this is the chance. This is the moment. Just persisted, kept going through the ups and downs, and yeah.
It's going to be kind of full circle for you then, because we are actually going to be shooting in the Atlanta area.
I haven't been there in a few years as well, so I'm equally excited. I just know that it is a second Hollywood, and there's so many projects out there, including ours. I'm excited.
No, for sure. No, I am too. And it's a great group of people down there. Like I've been down there a couple of times, and it's a beautiful part of the country. First of all, I mean, where I am, I'm used to like, you know, dirt and just brown, and there it's just so lush and green and beautiful, and which is actually not exactly the look of this film, but we're gonna do some things, and we're gonna make it work.
We'll make it work. Yeah.
So most people know you from The Chosen, and we've actually got a little clip here from The Chosen. Just to, if people haven't seen you on there, first of all, you're missing out massively. The Chosen is an amazing series. But here's Paris doing his thing as Matthew in The Chosen.
Matthew, son of Alphaeus.
Yes.
Follow me.
Me?
Yes, you.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. What are you doing? You want me to join you?
Keep moving, street preacher.
Do you have any idea what this guy's done? Do you even know him?
Yes.
Listen, I said to...
What are you doing? Where do you think you're going?
Guys, let me go.
Have you lost your mind? You have money. Quintus protects you. No Jew lives as good as you. You're gonna throw it all away.
Yes.
So Paris, I love that scene so much. I think there's just so much happening with Matthew in that scene.
Yeah, I think what a lot of the audience resonated with is just the shift that you can see in Matthew, and it's just even from the eye contact and things like that. But you know, in that moment when I was filming that scene, I had the idea of like the words I would say to myself is the lion awakens, meaning that, you know, you start to see this courageous guy form, and you know, the confidence starts coming there. And you know, I like to think that Matthew is kind of tender on the outside, but he's a lion on the inside. And you know, as the seasons have progressed, and you're going to see that, especially in season 3. So
the shift is, of course, the movie we're all talking about tonight. And so, what drew you to the shift? Like, what draws you to it?
So, as an artist, the one thing that always draws me to a project is a compelling script and character. And you know, when I got the email and the information for Rajit, I just was immediately interested because it was kind of out of the box for me. It was kind of out of the types that I go for, meaning that he, you know, is a little older and has a family and kids and stuff. I'm usually still going out for the younger roles because of this baby face, but
right.
I was just into that.
Don't knock it. It's a good thing to have.
Yeah. Cut to me like finishing The Chosen, and I'm like bald and whatever. But anyway, it was just interesting to me to like have others see me in ways that I have not really seen myself portraying yet in my career. And so I thought that was cool. And then I read the script, and I loved how Rajit is presented as someone that's been through a lot and been through some really serious lows, but he still is a good person. And I think that would serve as someone that the audience could resonate with, but also should, and how we live our lives we've been through ups and downs, but if we keep going and keep being a good person and kind of having hope and faith, like, you'll make it. I think we need more roles like that right now.
He represents kind of the heart of the film, kind of, you know, the good core. But as you say, it's not coming from a place like I always point to like Forrest Gump. Like Forrest Gump is like the example of goodness of somebody who just, you know, it's like just doesn't really know any better. You know, he just is kind of bumbling along. And, you know, that's not Rajit. Rajit is, as you say, he's been through some stuff, and that makes goodness more of a choice. Mm-hmm. And I think that's much more interesting. And I'm looking forward to seeing how you play that.
Yeah. I also, I love that he's a family man, and I love that he will do anything to support his family and his daughters and things like that. But I won't go too deep into it, but just, I love the kind of strength of a person he is. He's kind of a lion in his own way, you know? So, yeah. But also the sci-fi element of the movie is pretty rad, and I love how.
Are you into sci-fi?
Define sci-fi. Is ET sci-fi? Because
ET sci-fi. For sure.
Then I'm into sci-fi. Yeah. No, I just love. I love because it allows creativity to flourish. Your project is kind of something that I've never heard of or seen. Having elements of faith mixed with a sci-fi background. So it's cool, and I think creativity like this should be encouraged. So it is exciting to be a part of something new and fresh. It's fresh. So exciting.
Well, and that's the stuff that's the most worth doing, right? I know that's what gets me most excited as an artist. Like otherwise, what are we doing? We're selling cereal or something. You know, like this is thrilling.
I love cereal, but
I do too.
I get your point.
I'm not a cereal salesman though. Let's put it that way.
Okay. Yeah.
Well, hey, Paris, thank you so much for joining us tonight. Thank you so much for just being a part of this film, man. I cannot wait to start working with you. Seriously, I'm so jazzed.
Yes, thank you so much. A quick shout out to Justin Overlander, Ken Carpenter, and Beverly Holloway for kind of being also a part of the reason why I'm here. So appreciate you all. And to all our supporters watching, just wait. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, it is. All right. Take care, man.
All right. Have a good night.
You too.
Not too shabby. Not too shabby, right?
Not too bad. Nope. Paris Patel.
Well, that's been a good night. All right. Good night, everybody. Thanks for joining us. Should we? Oh, we should probably do some kind of wrap up, shouldn't we?
We probably should. This would be the time if you've got any questions for us. We've kind of just been barreling along here all night and not really taking any questions. If you do have any questions for us, especially those of you that are finding out about the shift for the first time tonight, please hit us up and our moderators will get them on screen here pretty quick. But I'm sure everybody knows by now, we've said it many times, but if you want to invest in the shift, we are reopened for investment. It's only happening through October 19th unless we hit our goal before then. You can go to angel.com/theshift and you can do that right now. But I mean, look at the cast we have so far right now. I mean, let's look at it. Here is the graphic that's going live. It might already be live on the website right now. This is showing us our confirmed cast. You can see who we're missing and also who we've got. So as we scroll down through this thing, you can see we've got Liz Tabish playing Molly Garner, Jorge Garcia playing Ramirez, Rose Reed playing Tina, Paris Patel as Rajit, and Jordan Walker Ross as Brendan. And, we're a little Chosen heavy right now. There's 3 actors from The Chosen. I don't see more actors from The Chosen joining this project. This is not a Chosen reunion special. But as we fill out this cast, you're going to start seeing more faces pop up in those boxes. And look, needless to say, well, probably not needless to say, I'll tell you just in case you're wondering, are there other actors that we're talking to right now? Are there even other actors that we're pretty far along in talks with that we'll probably be announcing very soon? The answer to those questions is yes. Yes, there are. So we weren't able to close those deals before tonight, so we didn't introduce them to you tonight. But I would anticipate some more announcements pretty soon. There are more actors who are circling this project, and we're gonna eventually, of course, notably, we have not announced who our 2 male leads are Kevin and our benefactor, who in the short film we call Satan, but in the feature film is only called the benefactor. We are now over, by the way, $135,000 in investment, which is incredible. We haven't even been open for 24 hours. We're putting together a strong supporting cast, as you can see. I hope that's what you've seen tonight. We're putting together a very strong supporting cast. Our challenge is going to be to find in Kevin and the benefactor the actors who can meet these amazing actors where they are and be of that quality, and really just blow this thing out of the water. Our goal is a theatrical release, and we've said from the very beginning that we're casting the film in a way that is going to call attention to itself at the box office. That means getting people who you recognize. That means getting people who, when people see that they're in the leads of this film, that's a film they want to go see. That's how theatrical movies work. That's how theatrical movies become successful. That's one priority. But the actual priority one for me and for all of us here on The Shift is to get excellent actors. And I think what tonight shows is that we are succeeding in that goal, tremendously so. Every single one of the actors we've announced tonight are heavy hitters in their level of talent and what they are going to bring to this film. I see that happening more and more as we go along. There is a momentum. I've referred to this film as a train that is fully on the tracks. And that is true. We are fully on the tracks and we are heading for the station. And that station is January 2023. The question is tonight, are you going to join us? Are you going to partner with us and be a part of this film being made? Because it is being made. And that is a thrill. That is absolutely thrilling. I know Justin and I are so excited. I know the whole team of people that you're not even seeing tonight are so excited. And you saw tonight the excitement in our actors. Angel.com/theshift. That's where it can happen. We're about to sign off. Please go over there. Check out all the materials and check out all the videos and different things. Make your decision prayerfully. Figure out what's right for you. But if you want to be part of this film, now is the time. Do we have any questions? Have moderators hit us up? Do we have any questions at all that we should be tackling? Carissa says, I can't wait till all this is out. Where would it be available to watch? Carissa, great question. It's going to go theatrical first. That means a theatrical exclusive window. That means it'll be in the theaters for a certain amount of time. It'll only be available there. And then like other films, it'll be from there, it'll go on to Blu-ray and DVD. It'll go on to streaming services and places like that. I talked earlier tonight about how we are in advanced talks with a streaming service who actually wants to license the film right now and give us some money to help us make the film before we've even shot it, which is incredible. It's an incredible thing to have for a film that hasn't even been shot yet. I can't tell you who that is yet because that deal hasn't closed, but we are in advanced talks. So it's going to be in all the traditional places. You'll be able to also purchase it on Amazon and iTunes and wherever you're not going to not be able to find The Shift. And of course, it'll also be on the Angel app. It'll be available there as well. Any other questions for us? He pushes up his glasses. Lisa asks, is the script still available to read? Lisa, it is, great name by the way, it is not available to read anymore. I've advanced the script several drafts past what we released to the world last year, and we've made the decision internally to no longer make that script available. We want to preserve whatever surprises that we have left. We're going to preserve that for the experience of watching the film. So it is not available. We did play a video earlier that you can also find on our Facebook page of fan reactions to that script when it was available. But I am sorry, it is no longer available. But those who, they're one of our perks. If people invest at a certain level, we do have different perks. And one of the perks is a signed copy of the shooting script. So there is that. There's one way. That's one way to read the script. Of course, that would be after we make the movie, but that would be one way to read the script. Now we got a question for Justin here. Jennifer says, Justin, will there be... Oh, go ahead.
Well, you said question for Justin, and then you start reading it. I'm like, well, okay,
I thought it was a question to Justin. I didn't realize that Justin was supposed to read the question, so I'm just going to back
I don't know. We've got things going in our ears, and sometimes it flip-flops and overlaps. Will there be opportunities to be extras during filming? I mean, of course, every film has to have atmosphere and ambiance and people to fill the scene to make it look like it's an active environment. Mm-hmm. I'm assuming, Jennifer, that you're more implying, will there be opportunities for people to invest and then get invited to set? Brock, I'll let you answer that question because I don't know that we have officially decided upon that just yet. Have we?
No, we have. Yeah. One of our perks is if you invest at a certain level, one of our perks, you will be guaranteed the opportunity to come and be in the shift as an extra. Now, what the caveat to that, of course, is that you have to pay your own way and housing and all that stuff. But the opportunity will be afforded people who invest at a certain level. I'm jumping over to the website here and see if I can figure out what that level is. I don't remember offhand. Scanning and live while everybody's waiting. $5,000 or more investment. You get the opportunity to be an extra. So we'll, of course, be having to cast extras as well, but we'll be going through an agency to handle all of that. I don't have the details on that right now.
Yeah, and I should have known that. I probably did, but it got filed away in the memory banks after a long day. And
Well, look, we just reopened investment today. Like this is not information you've had to know or deal with until now. So that's okay. That's okay. Am I correct in understanding that we're all done with questions? We don't have any more, or do we have support? We have time for probably a couple more if we've got them. Okay, we got a few more. Lauren N asks, how long will the film be? Lauren, I think based on the script and based on what we're looking at, we're probably looking at about a 2-hour film. I don't think nobody's thinking of a film that's going to be longer than that, but I think anybody who has read the script understands there's kind of an epic quality to the shift. It goes to a lot of different places. So this is not going to be a 90-minute get in and get out film. But it's not going to be a 2.5-hour, Marvel movie with everybody, fighting Thanos. It's not that either. So yeah, about 2 hours. Justin, why don't you take the next one?
Yeah, what drove the benefactor Satan character name change? Well, Brock, I'll let you answer this one because you probably are the one to answer this one.
Yeah. So what drove that change was just thinking about, as we were going out and we were looking at, approaching actors and just thinking about how the film is going to play with different audiences. One of the goals we have for this film is that it's not just a faith film. And in fact, there's a whole way to promote this film. It's just a sci-fi film. That's it. I mean, that's all it really has to be. It's just a great sci-fi film. And all the faith elements, you can easily just ignore them if you want, which isn't to say that they're not there. They're very present. Anybody who's seen anything we've done knows that that's very present. But I want this to succeed also as a sci-fi film. And I realized at some point that the name Satan just carries so much weight to it. And it's not quite as subtle as I like to be in my storytelling. And the name benefactor was actually already an alias that was built into the very first draft of the script. Satan is sometimes referred to as the benefactor for story reasons that will make sense when you see the film. And I realized very quickly, well, shoot, if we just call him the benefactor from the very beginning, I feel like that opens up the audience, that opens up the people who would approach this film. And it just makes it easier to digest in a lot of ways. Just not calling him out as that specifically, making it something that the audience concludes and that they put together, and just letting them have that experience instead of just spoon feeding it and saying, yeah, he's the devil. Now it's a little bit more subtle, and I think that's always better. I want to respect the audience's intelligence as much as I can as a storyteller, and so I think that more than anything just kind of drove that decision.
Subtlety is key.
Subtlety is key. Yes, as you've just demonstrated.
Will there be a lot of CGI involved, or will the effects be practical?
Great question. Actually, I have a meeting in a couple days with a possible VFX supervisor. That's one of the things we're going to be talking is about how to achieve some of these things that we want to do. The one thing to keep in mind is that this is an independent film. We do not have the budget of a Marvel film, but we've scripted this thing. We've designed the story in such a way that a lot of the special effects we're doing are pretty. We're not reinventing the wheel with the special effects. Let's put it that way. We're doing things that are fairly simple to achieve, focusing more on the story and much less on the effects. So I think that the types of effects that we're doing probably do lean a little more CGI heavy, but not in the sense of like we're going to create digital dragons or something like that. We're talking about things like sky replacement or putting buildings in the background where there aren't any, or doubling an actor on screen. We have some moments where an actor appears, character appears as multiple versions of themselves on screen. Some things like that, people disappearing and reappearing, and those are effects that are kind of a combination of and CGI as well. So yeah, great question, but something we're still kind of figuring out as we're heading into production.
How do I invest
Justin,
in the shift? Well, I think I can answer this one. Lisa, thank you for asking. Yeah, you go to angel.com/theshift, and it couldn't be easier. It walks you through a couple things. Now, Brock alluded to this earlier. They'll ask for some identification, proof and whatnot. Social security number specifically. That's not being stored in some database. That it's perfectly safe. Thousands, tens of thousands did this for The Chosen, and nobody got their identity stolen through The Chosen. So this is all safe, on the up and up. You have nothing to fear there. And I will say this too. One of the most common questions I got when I was on The Chosen is, how can I invest? And we didn't take investments past season 1. So by then it was too late. With The Shift, we have a cap of a dollar amount that we can accept in investments. And once we reach that cap, we can't accept more investments. So this isn't, I wouldn't recommend that you wait, 29 days and right before the investment round closes, maybe I'll go in and, I missed my chance. So that's not a sell. That's not a pitch. It's just letting you know the reality that this is a limited window of opportunity to get involved as an investor, as a partial owner of The Shift. So angel.com/The Shift is where you go. And while you're there, check out the other Angel projects too. Angel.com. Angel has a lot of great projects. The Chosen, The Shift, many more that I'll let you explore on your own. But we would love to have you be a part of The Shift, whether it's financially, prayerfully, or if you're new and you kind of dig what you're seeing so far. You like that we've got Liz, Jordan, and Paris from The Chosen. You like that we've got Rose, a brilliant up-and-comer, and you like that we've got Jorge Garcia, one of my all-time favorites from Lost. If you like that, start to spread the word. Share this live stream. Follow us on Facebook. Follow us on Instagram. On Facebook, we're at Shifty Film. On Instagram, we're The Shift Film, I believe. But if you search for The Shift, you'll see our logo. You can't miss it. Start sharing our stuff, interacting with us. As word spreads more and more, it only benefits the algorithm to get this in front of more eyes. And we just want to bring light into the world. The Shift is a project geared to bring light into the world and to be uplifting content. Brock has done a wonderful job of crafting a story that can appeal to a wide audience, but still has those core faith values that most of us on this, most of you watching, I assume, share similar desires to want to get those values out into the world. So with that, Brock, this was a heck of a live stream. I'm very, very pleased with the way everything went, and so happy
This is my favorite
for
one
a
yet.
number of, had a number of new faces join us, number of people that I haven't seen, some that I recognize from The Chosen that I'm glad came over here, and then our core fans. Gosh, we can't thank you guys enough for being so faithful and so dependable that you're going to show up for our live streams. It means the world to us, and we don't want to underplay that at all. So from the bottom of my heart, thank you for the support over the years through The Chosen and now through The Shift. And Brock got emotional earlier because this is a project that has been in him, that he has been pursuing and working really, really hard on for how many years, Brock?
Oh, do we really want to say that? We're about 7 years. About 7 years I've been working on this. Yeah.
And that's nothing in film land. That's nothing.
No.
I don't. There's stories you can look up online about how long it took Star Wars to get off the ground. How long, and now I'm drawing a blank. It's so many projects that have these lore of taking more than a decade sometimes to get off the ground. So, but Brock has put a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and I'm just so honored to be alongside with you for this, Brock, and I'm excited to get filming this thing probably in January.
Yep. Very grateful to everyone, and thank you for participating in our game earlier. Langford Jordan is the winner of our contest for who he guessed correctly. Jorge Garcia is the sci-fi actor from the sci-fi world. We just passed 145K invested in the shift. Thank you so much. When we started this live stream, I believe we were right about 100K. So we've seen $45,000 in additional investment just while we've been live. And I'm guessing there's a lot of you who have been waiting for us to shut up so that you can go over to angel.com/theshift and make good and invest yourselves. And so we are at the time finally where we are going to shut up. Oh, Langford, by the way, Langford, contact us on Facebook, send us a DM so that we can get your information, so we can be sure and get the merch that you've won over to you. Thank you again, everyone. This has been such a special night. This has been my favorite live stream that we've done. We have so many we have 5 actors now that we've announced. We have many more to announce. I cannot wait for the coming weeks. We are planning, while we are having this active, fundraising round, we are going to be coming to you at least weekly with new live streams and new information and updates and things like that. So we'll have more information on that soon. Please follow us on Facebook to keep track of those things. We also, of course, our live streams appear at the Angel Studios channel on YouTube. Subscribe to that if you want to get those updates. Anything I'm forgetting, Justin?
No, let's call it a night, and let's thank everybody again.
Sounds good.
And we'll see you again soon. Take care, everybody.
Thank you. Have a good night.
It's a test.
For every choice you make, there are countless other realities where you make different choices. Imagine the power to move one person from one reality to the next.
You can do that?
Just say the word.
You tell me! Where did everybody go?
When are you finally going to wake up and realize he doesn't take care of his own? What do you know about me? You're a fiend, a crook, a liar. Your goal? Misery.